Okay, it's been a while. I have to see if I can fit all this in 10 minutes. So last Saturday, over a week ago, after work, I went to this exhibit of a guy who makes all of his art out of Legos. It was really cool. The first floor was like him imitating famous works, like famous paintings, famous statues, with Legos, and it was incredible. When I first went, I was like, "Am I going to be impressed, or am I going to feel like anyone could do this if they sat down and spent the time?" But I was so impressed, and it like was really clear to me how artistic it was, how much I would never be able to figure out what he figures out of how to do it. So it was cool. The bottom floor was his own work, which I almost even enjoyed more. He was great. I'm gonna include I'm putting all the photos on Facebook so you can look at all through a lot of them, and it was cool. If he's ever around, his name's Nathan Sawaya. If he's ever around, I highly recommend looking at his stuff. Yeah. So then Sunday I worked. A lot of the week I worked, but it's not what I'm going to talk about in this video, but work is going well. Monday I was off work and I went thrift store shopping with one of my aunts, which was fun. We shop at the same pace and in the same way of like looking through all the clothes and going in the dressing room multiple times. So it was really cool. We both found stuff that we liked and stuff we got. She got me these earrings, which I like. Um, and then we went out to dinner. It's really cool for me to just get to stop by and like see family, like get a meal, or like because in the past it's been flying over for special events like bat mitzvahs and weddings, and it's like really different to just get to like pop over and see someone for a day, and it's really fun. Like it's really sweet. Tuesday, this girl who I went to Santa Cruz with has been in town for these like 2 weeks. So Tuesday I went to the Brooklyn Botanic Gardens with her. It was fun. It's kind of a park on the outside, but they have these buildings that have like tropical room, like desert plants, like like all these different kinds, and it was cool to see, and it was really nice to catch up. After that, we went to Little Italy Chinatown area. They're right next to each other. And we got like gelato in Little Italy. We ate dinner in Chinatown, and then we walked over to my work, and I went to work for a closing shift. But it was really great to catch up with her, and it was a really good day in general. Wednesday, I went and got dinner. I got lunch with one of my dad's cousins who works. She's a lawyer, like on 57th Street, and we went to this Korean place near her work that was like everything was really, all the tastes were really like nuanced and subtle. Like it was really high quality food, and I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed spending time with her. The same thing of just being able to like hop over and see people. And after dropping her back off at work, I went and napped in Central Park, which is funny to me. It's like very New York. Like, oh, okay, just napping. Because I had been tired from the closing shift the night before. And then I went to another closing shift at work. But it was good. Like the week's been good, and all this like so my birthday was Friday, and it was cool because every day when it would come up, people would be like, "Oh, like if you don't have anything to do for your birthday, let me know what you want to do," which was sweet because I could have easily not had things to do for my birthday because I'm so new here, but I had a lot of things to pick from, and so that was sweet that every person I interacted with who I knew was offering that. So it was cool. So Thursday, I was supposed to work from noon till 9 p.m., and it was slow enough that I got off work at 5. And I was walking towards the subway, and I turned down the street to sit on this group of benches at the end of the street that so that I could like call people or see if anyone's doing anything because I suddenly had this unexpected evening free. And because once you get on the subway, you have no cell phone reception, so I needed to do it outside. So I was walking down the street, and I passed by this Amish market that's there, and two guys were sitting on a bench in front of the market, and simultaneously I hear like, "What does your shirt say? I like your earrings. Your hair is really cool." Like all at once. And I ended up sitting with them, and I ended up hanging out with them for the whole night, which was really fun. It sounds sketchy as hell, but it didn't feel scary or sketchy at all. I sat on that bench with them for about a half hour while they were waiting for their friends to get off work, and it maybe even 40 minutes. And it was cool because I got to like, just like it was like really casual, really comfortable. We were like watching the people who walked by. One of the guys, they were both, my guess is like mixed race, biracial, maybe like half black, half Spanish or something. But one of the guys was really big, and one of them had red hair. And I really just enjoyed my time with them. The guy with red hair rode around in this little green, like the plastic skateboard kind of. So I was sitting on the bench with them, and they were going to go to this bar in West Village on a street called St. Mark's Place. And I know the area a little bit. I knew a subway station was close by. I felt comfortable talking to them, so it was like, okay, Cynthia, if you're going to meet people who are in New York, like if you're going to meet new people here who aren't family, you have to accept these kind of opportunities when they come, when they feel safe. So I did. It was really fun because going to a local bar is something that I haven't really gotten a chance to do as much because I don't know, because you need to know local people to go to local bars comfortably for me. But it felt great. It was just like the little bars in Santa Cruz, which I like a lot. I got to meet some of their friends who were all sweet. We walked around outside while they smoked a spliff at one point. So it was just like a really great night of spending time with people who I enjoyed and at a place that was new and fun. So I left being really happy. And by far the highlight of the night was that while we were walking back to the subway station, I was standing on the sidewalk talking to them at one point. And from behind me, I hear, "Hey, that's Cynthia! You're Cynthia! Cynthia, turn around!" And I turned around, and it was these 4 girls from my work. And it was funny because the guys I was with were like, "Yo, we didn't know Cynthia had black friends." but the girls I really like them. They're really sweet. And it felt like that kind of thing would happen to me in Santa Cruz all the time, that I'd run into people I knew because I knew enough people and Santa Cruz was small. But this case, it was like in New York, which is a huge city, it made the city feel smaller, and it was like they could have easily walked by and not said hi, but they didn't. They stopped, they said hi, we talked for like 2 minutes, and the fact that I ran into them at all, it was like really cool. It was one of the highlights. I felt very loved in that moment. And then Friday was my birthday. I felt really loved the whole day. I spent most of it talking on the phone to people from home, family and close friends, for like an hour or an hour and a half each conversation, and that was really sweet. And in the evening, I went and saw this band called Devil Makes Three, who actually started in Santa Cruz. I went with a girl from Santa Cruz, and they were playing in a park in Brooklyn. I think Santa Cruz spoiled me because I'm used to getting to hear that kind of bluegrass music in really local venues, and this was in a much bigger venue, and I missed the kind of smaller places, but it was still really sweet, and they were really good. So I had a great birthday, and it's going to be cool in a year to look back and be in a totally different place than I was for this birthday. So that was great. And then on Saturday, I went to work, but in the morning, texted one of the 2 guys, the one with red hair, that I met on Thursday because I realized that that I really enjoyed spending time with him. And I texted him to see what he was doing that evening because I was getting off at 6. And we arranged to do something together, hang out. And I got off at 4, and one of my residents from the dorms last year, who lives in Connecticut, had texted me that she was at this museum with her mom in New York. So I went to this museum in Brooklyn. It's like the MoMA PS1, and it had this huge art installation where it was like all these hip, trendy people, and this installation that every summer there's a different one. It was like spraying people with water, and it was crazy to see. It was just totally like a New York experience of being very abstract, too abstract for me, with people who were too hip for me, but it was a really fun thing to observe, and it was really great seeing her. So then after that, I went over to this guy Red's apartment building, and I have to figure out how to make this not sound sketchy, but it wasn't. I felt really comfortable with him. We watched this film called Beyond the Black Rainbow, which is meant to be really trippy. It's kind of like a cult film, and very strange, but I enjoyed watching it. And we went and got Subway sandwiches. And afterwards, so we were hanging out, and I was trying to figure out, basically at one point in the conversation, I was like, okay, I'm sure that he's comfortable hooking up and he wants to hook up. And so I leaned over the couch and kissed him, which was really fun for me to be able to do, of making the first move. And we ended up, it was a really fun night, really sweet and affectionate. And the reason I feel kind of hesitant talking about it on YouTube, but A, it was like a really big part of my week and really fun. Come in. But B, it was cool because it's like all of the messages that I ever hear are like me hearing like, oh, if I'm, it's like if you don't shave or if you don't watch your weight, then you're not gonna. Thank you. You're welcome. Then you're not gonna like be loved in that way or be cared about. And it's like I found that to be like total BS because I had this great night with somebody who I enjoyed spending time with, and it was like really affectionate. At the end, we like he walked me to the subway, and like it was just sweet. So that was cool, and it was a very New York experience for me too. And I felt good about it, which I hope you can trust that I'm not being like crazy and delusional. That it was good. So yeah, I that's all the updates for now. I'll let you know how it keeps going, and I hope you're doing really well. I'll talk to you soon.